Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I wanted to do the reading today on Trump in November. Of course, we have Mercury retrograde. I think we're all going to be impacted by that, including Donald Trump. But I will read on that in the next couple of days and look at how any of the astrological patterns, such as Mercury retrograde, might affect the impeachment inquiry. But first to Donald Trump in November. He's coming off the back of a pretty big shock to his ego. We've also seen fairly transparent, bold moves from some Republicans standing up and calling out behaviour that they may not have done before. Commentators, I've watched a lot of commentators who say that even without the Mueller redactions, which the DOJ are still trying to hold back, even without those, it's still the Ukrainian matter alone is enough to meet the impeachment test. So let's have a look. Seems that Trump is fighting a losing battle. We've got insecurity here with this Four of Pentacles, but this is, to me, also around trying to hold back information. So wherever his finances are concerned, he will fight tooth and nail to hold that back. But generally, he's insecure. He's closing down. He's clamping up. He's trying to put walls around. This is tactics he's employed over a lifetime. Obstruct, hold back, spin things out for as long as it can go. But the House has just announced, Adam Schiff has just announced they're not going to muck about anymore with those that don't appear, who are subpoenaed to appear, and ignore the subpoenas. All right, Trump in November. Trump in November, let's have a look. What's likely to occur in November? Of course, we'll lay out 4 cards and we'll read each week as we normally do. That card's wanting to come out. I do feel that he will be restricted in some way. Of course, you had that lovely quote from John Kelly saying if he had have still been around, Trump wouldn't have been impeached, because the message there was that Kelly held Trump's worst instincts back. You can bet his advisors and his counsel are reining him in at the moment during this impeachment inquiry. All right, let's have a look. Trump in November, 4 weeks. Trump in November. What's likely to be coming forward for Donald Trump and the US, but Donald Trump in particular in November. Trump in November. Okay, so we've got the first week. I'll just go to my calendar so that I get the weeks right. All right, so we have week beginning the 4th of November. So we've got Pelosi. The focus is on the impeachment inquiry. I think that it's going to move quite quickly, but Trump will be focusing all his efforts. The House has announced that in that impeachment inquiry, they will move to public witnesses. Their testimonies will be made public. And of course, I haven't drilled down on it, but I think Trump's counsel will have a chance to cross-examine. I'm not sure how that's all going to work. I better drill down on that, but I've not got much time this morning. Needless to say, his focus is on the impeachment inquiry in the first week. Beginning the 11th, the truth coming out. So this could be something that originates from the impeachment inquiry. It's going to be quite substantial in the second week of November. By the third week, we've got strategies here. So third week, he could do something that is a bit untoward. Watch out for that. That is the card of the thief stealing into the camp at night and making off with the weapons. So he, the obvious message there is he's going to try and disarm us in some way in that third week. But by the fourth week, we've got the Devil card. So you could see even by the fourth week. Now, one of the things that Trump does is, we'll drill down on these cards, is that he employs shock value to, in a bit of a vindictive way. He will announce something that he knows that we're all going to reel from, and he will do it anyway. So it could be something like that in that fourth week. But this is also greed. It's also it's greed and avarice. It's being chained to somebody. It's the great, Saturn, the great awakener as well. So I think that by that fourth week, without pulling any more cards, I would say that he's going to do something to rock us in some way. So third and fourth week, he's employing a strategy, and I think by the fourth week he's releasing that strategy. But they're just my cursory reading of those 4 cards. I'm going to bring the laptop down, and I'm going to deepen this reading and see if we can drill down on each of the cards. I used my SpellCaster deck to begin with. I'm now using my Golden Universal Tarot to mirror and deepen this reading. Okay, let's look at that first week. Focus is on the impeachment in that first week. All right. Let's give the cards a bit of a shuffle. Donald Trump's November. Donald Trump's November. Tell me about the Queen of Swords, the investigator, the Democrats in the House, the impeachment inquiry. Okay, tell me about this Queen of Swords. Tell me about this Queen of Swords. Tell me about this Queen of Swords. The Democrats in the House, the impeachment inquiry, first week in November for Trump. Tell me about this Queen of Swords. Okay, so what we've got, we've got justice. So absolutely he's focused on the impeachment inquiry. And I would say, knowing Trump, it's how to evade justice. So he'd be looking at those terms of the procedural terms, and he'd be working out how he can counter those. And it is, again, to also draw in, this is the Lovers card, the Gemini card, Trump himself. This is around, I guess, drawing in support in the House to try and, stonewall, obstruct, whatever they can do. They'll be pulling a lot of stunts. And we've got the Devil. Okay, so they'll be trying to disrupt the impeachment inquiry. I do believe that for November, it's all about that impeachment inquiry. It's all about trying to stop justice from being done. Now, this is a Donald Trump reading, and so I have the feeling that the energy in November, whereas in the past we could actually see things that might come out, such as whistleblowers. I do feel that in November, this is all about Donald Trump fighting back, fighting for his life. But we've got the 10 of Wands, and this is about a completion cycle. So this is the acts of a desperate person. Okay, so first week, it's all about trying to stop justice. It's all about countering anything the Democrats do. With that justice card, you've also got evidence being held and secrets coming to light. So Trump won't have it all his own way, because those secrets will be coming out. The things that have been hidden in the past will be emerging, and so it will be quite shocking as well. Reading in layers, for some, you're actually going to see exactly what sort of a administration Trump has been running, and it is going to be shocking. For some, it's actually going to be shocking. You're also going to see the kinds of alliances and deals and company that Trump is actually keeping. Of course, the Ukrainian businessman, I think it is Parnas, has ties to the Russian mob. And of course, we're not surprised about that at all. He goes back with Trump quite a long way. So all of these things are in the mix in the first week of November. let's have a look at this Sword of Truth, this Ace of Swords. This is about truth emerging, but we're looking at Trump in November as well. So we've got to understand that every time he's fighting very hard in November, when something emerges, he'll run a counter narrative. But I think look to that second week of November for a lot of information coming out about Ukraine and those matters associated with Ukraine. It is the sword of justice. And I do feel that in that second week you're going to get bombshell information that will actually lead to Trump trying to figure out something fairly vindictive that he might do in those last couple of weeks. But firstly, let's move to the Sword of Justice. Now, that seemed to want to come out. We've got the Five of Cups. There will be loss for Trump in the second week. I do feel that he's going to try hard to counter things, but he's not going to win in that second week, because I feel that the information coming out will be fairly strong with that Ace of Swords. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. Yeah, we've got the Knight of Swords. This is action on the truth. So really, maybe you should be getting your popcorn out in that second week, because in some way we've also got the dark money. This could be around the PACs. Now, I've done another reading on the PACs, which I think I'll upload tomorrow. I'll let this reading go forward today. But it shows that the GOP is actually worried about possible foreign donations being in those PACs. I'm not saying that will be the information coming out in the second week, although it could be. But the Democrats are going to be presenting some kind of evidence around Trump's connections, monetary ties. I think this is also holding back the money, the quid pro quo, but it's also around really throwing business in Ukraine to his allies. There's something around dark money here and connections to it in this matter. And of course, things are going to be coming forth fairly quickly in that second week. Now, this is the trouble. We're moving now. So he's concerned with the impeachment inquiry. He's trying to run a counter narrative, but the wheels of justice are moving forward in the first week. By the second week, you've got bombshell information coming out of that impeachment inquiry, and that's really going to, when he looks like he's taking a hit, that's when he's at his most vindictive. But the other level of this card is that we could see some information coming out that he actually betrayed the country in some way. Now, I don't know what the Democrats have in their arsenal. I think we're pretty well across it, so it would have to be something that we don't know yet. Without the Mueller report redactions, it's hard to see that they would make that connection with Russia, but that's where I'm going here in this third week. But on the other hand, we've also got something that he might do. So tell me about this Seven of Swords. Can you deepening this reading, Spirit? Tell me about the Seven of Swords. Donald Trump in November, Seven of Swords. Okay, so we've got some sort of communication coming forward, theft and betrayal. I do feel that, at one level, this is something else we're going to find out, something that we haven't heard yet, or we might hear from these witnesses around a communication or a back channel that actually does demonstrate that he was actually putting your national security at risk in some way. The investigators, the King of Swords. Yeah, that's interesting, because I've been dealing with the impeachment inquiry. This could actually be something else altogether. This could actually be SDNY and their investigations. This could actually even be the Mueller report, because I went there straight away, those redactions. The court should move pretty quickly. The DOJ is appealing the federal court's decision to hand over the redactions, and that appeal should move quite quickly. According to experts, legal experts, the courts aren't going to muck around when there's an impeachment inquiry. Things should start to move quite quickly. So you could see something around Russia coming through in that third week. Yeah, look, it's something pretty damning because it is loss. But from Trump's point of view, what's he up to? Because we've now got the devil here. Okay, is this, and I'm being cautious, I'm trying to dig around to see what Trump might be up to in that third week. Tell me about this. This could even be Barr's inquiry as well. Tell me about this Seven of Swords. Is Trump going to be planning something? Is Trump in the third week of something wants to jump out? We've got the Hermit. So we've got investigations being alluded to. Is Trump trying to plan something in this third week of November with this Seven of Swords? Okay, Judgment. No, something coming to an end. What is that? Okay, and the Star of Hope. No, these are pretty positive cards. But we've also got the Page of Cups. So we've got perhaps even another whistleblower coming out as well, or some kind of news relating to an investigation. Okay, so third week. My initial impression is that Trump could do something. These cards are telling me that we could hear word from an investigation around a communication, a back channel, some kind of communication. And we could actually even have somebody standing down with this Eight of Cups. I don't think that is Trump, but, wouldn't it be lovely if it was? But I feel that there is some kind of news coming out there, and there is somebody possibly resigning. It could be Mick Mulvaney in the third week, and that's what that could be about. Let's move to the Devil card. Of course, I'm very cautious, as I said, about Trump in that fourth week of November. Let's have a look at what might be coming up there. Can we have some clarity on this Devil card, traditionally meaning chained servant master, but also greed, avarice, but it is moving through a cycle with this Saturn. It could be things will start to really ramp up as we move into December and January, which are key months. But let's have a look. Tell me about the Devil card. Tell me about the Devil card. Okay, we've got the King of Pentacles, greed and avarice. He could try something to benefit himself. We could have something coming out around his profiteering from the presidency, but I don't think so. I think this anxiety could be for us as well, but it could also come forward that we get more information around his business dealings. Tell me about this King of Pentacles, because there's an anxiety there. What's going on? I hope this is not him trying to shut down the government. I haven't followed that reading up, but the Hanged Man is talking about things stopping, and there's anxiety there. Tell me about this Devil card. Tell me about this Devil card. This is, it could be something to do with the voters, the American voters, and the economy. Okay. But we've also got the Star of Hope. So if he is going to be doing something, a plan perhaps, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So fourth week, he could try something, and I'm not sure what that is. It could be to do with money. But whatever he does, it's just not going to work. So let's now pull some cards. What was at the base of the pack of our first deck? So because I shuffled. We'll pull some more cards and just get some general messages for November. And then we'll close the reading down. So in summary, it's all about the impeachment inquiry. It's all about news coming forward that's likely to shock. we could hear from back channels in that third week. Watch for Trump and the Republicans doing something to counteract the impeachment inquiry in some way. However, at another level, third and fourth week could be more information coming out. I do feel with that King of Swords emerging there, watch for any of the investigations, but also watch for the court to make a decision on the redactions. So I guess I'll follow up my cautious feeling. I'm just feeling quite cautious about November and about the potential for Trump to create that chaotic environment he's so good at creating, particularly when those witnesses move into the public domain. Is Trump likely to pull or try anything in November? Trump in November, is he likely to try or pull anything in November? So we've got illusions and delusions. That's a given that he's going to throw smoke screen across everything, obstruct, try and get the Republicans to run counter narratives. Of course, he's challenged by the actual information coming out. We do have the devil card here, and we do have the ties that bind his connections with foreign governments as well. But also this is the chaos. The devil is the chaotic energy that he could try and create as we get more and more of the truth emerging. In the past, we've got the moon card. Something needing to come to the surface, but this is also confusion and also this things that remain in the shadow. So that's in the past, and we've got this very, very strong Ace of Swords. Really is the energy, the overriding energy I feel for November. With this Queen of Pentacles, unfortunately, I feel that there's something here that he might do which could have an impact on the economy, and I'm not sure what that is, other than perhaps not approving appropriation bills. We've got three coming together here, Trump in November, so he will be calling on his allies. This could be behind the scenes sort of stuff. Right now we're moving toward a rebalance, of course, which the Temperance card, but the environment that is creating, and this is why I am cautious, the more that we move to a rebalance, the more Trump will try and hide things, the more he will take action to secure himself, because he's very insecure, and it's all around his money as well. The hopes and the fears, of course, is that the Emperor card, the dictator, will emerge, and the outcome card is the High Priestess. This is a subconscious intuitive card, but it's also again things remaining hidden. So that's his big mission, and he will do anything. Here's the Seven of Swords, and this is what was fueling my caution. He is going to try something in November to make sure those secrets are kept. This is also the impeachment inquiry, so he will be moving to try and stop information coming through. But on another level, viewers, because we've always got to look at the entire story, don't we, if we want to get to the truth. On another level, the outcome card is saying that there are secrets that are emerging. They are going to emerge through the impeachment inquiry, and you're going to get a fairly good evidence-based look at Trump betraying his own country, betraying the national security. So that's really Trump in November. I think a fairly comprehensive look at that. Base of the pack, we have the celebrations, which is my Democrat card. We've got the review, which is the impeachment inquiry going on, the investigation. And really all roads lead to Russia at the end of the day with this Two of Cups. In one way or another they do. Of course we're going to have the Republicans, particularly in the House, those junior Republicans, really trying to put obstacles and challenges, and this could even be obstacles and challenges in the way, and this is fencing something in, really in order to stop the downfall of Trump. So impeachment's going to proceed. The Republicans are going to try and run counter narratives, but I do feel Adam Schiff is the right person to be leading this impeachment inquiry along with Pelosi. Are they going to falter? Are they going to misstep? I don't think so. I just worry about that third and fourth week, and it may have nothing to do with the impeachment inquiry. It could have everything to do with something else that Trump is currently thinking about doing, which is almost a payback. It could also be to do with trying to push to see the identity of the whistleblowers with that page of swords there. But that's at one level. At the other level, which of course is the dominant narrative now, the dominant movement, the dominant energy, is that things are coming forward very, 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 very quickly. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. I'll be back again. I'll release that, the PACs, the super PACs. I'm going right there. I'll release that reading either tonight or tomorrow. But I will also come back and look at how Mercury retrograde might impact in any way on us generally, but also on the very real watershed moments that we're seeing around the world, including over in the UK, where there will now be a general election in December. So December is a huge month globally. We are going through a rebalancing. We needed to do this, but it is occurring, make no mistake. Where we will end up by January, February, March, hopefully in a better place. So thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again with another reading soon.